It's one thing to make a lifestyle shift. It's another to really dedicate your life to it. And if I look at everything that you've done, there's that trend line of this is your path. Was it more of an intuitive thing? Was it more of a spiritual path, guidance type of thing? Can you share with us about how you were able to follow this trajectory through and through?
Yeah, and it was exactly that. Did you ever hear the saying "follow the thread"? Heard that phrase? I've been doing a lot of self-reflection this year in 2020 on my own life and doing a lot of journaling and just thinking back. And I'm about to share a story with you that I just recently remembered and shared with my mother and my wife. But prior to that, I haven't shared this with anybody. But so my injury happened in eighth grade. Okay. I remembered something that happened, I think around the age of sixth or seventh grade, that also was part of the thread. And I had this amazing science teacher around that age. I think it was sixth grade, maybe seventh grade. Mrs. Mounta was her name. And she was like a force. She was like the best teacher and was just inspiring young children to embrace science. And as such, she invited every student in the class to enter the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science Awards. And I think every student had to at least attempt to submit a project. And then there would be a panel of people, I think teachers, that would vote on finalists. And then a couple finalists from each class would go to a regional competition, and then the regional competition would progress to a statewide competition. And so I entered, and I thought back on what that early research project was, and I chose to do a biology experiment where we were taking plants. I forget the type of plant it was, but it was one plant grown in four different soil types. And over the course of an 8-week period, you had to track how these different soil types had an impact on the health of the plant and the
Mhm.
plant's ability to grow. And so I had this whole experiment. I think one plant was grown in potting soil, another plant was grown in sand, another plant was grown hydroponically, just using water. And then I think the third plant was a mixture of outdoor soil mixed with potting soil, mixed with sand, or something like that. And would you believe I won the competition regionally, and then I got invited to go to the state competition at Penn State University and won a scholarship, like a small scholarship. But who would have ever thought that 30 years later, I'd be running a global institution that studies soil health? But it just dawned on me that may have been the first thread.